Welcome. You're listening to The Radke Show with David and Melissa Radke. I wanted to do... I got hair stuck on my mouth.
No, David.
I swear, I know what he is going to say. He was going to say, "Yo, a little bit up here." David will sometimes David will look at me, especially at church. He likes to do it when it's real quiet, and he will just make eye contact and he'll go like this. And that's what a man with a handlebar mustache will do. And David will do it to me if I've got hair coming up there. It's not funny, Dave.
I don't do it if you actually have hair. I do it when you don't have hair. That's what makes it funny.
Well, it's funny that we're talking about this because today we're doing some hot topics for you guys. And when I say hot, we're talking on the burner.
We're talking hot topic.
We're talking fresh out of the frying pan. Y'all, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. I don't know why I said them. They've not been married for like 15 years. I don't even know why I said that. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are splitting up. What in the heck is going on when a Hollywood couple can't make it? How can the rest of us even base the success of our marriage off of it if a Hollywood couple can't
But
make
I
it?
thought since they were from Australia,
Surely it would work.
that was going to work.
Because people in Australia look at someone like Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson and they go, "Mate, they've got to make it, yeah? They're both from America."
Well, but you know, when you find someone down under, you've already been at the lowest point. So it's only up from there. So why would you split?
Well, I think here's why they might have split. Number one, his hair has been out of style for many years. And she's probably tried to tell him. And he's like, "No, mate. It's cheeky, mate." I don't know what he would say, but I think maybe that could be the reason. Or perhaps they went on a trip recently with a dog. That could be another reason.
Not our dog.
David and I went to the University of Arkansas this weekend to spend the weekend with Remy because it was Dad's weekend for Delta Gamma. For who?
Delta Gamma.
No, they don't say it like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Why would you say it like that? They say Delta Gamma.
Yeah,
It's Dad's weekend. We went all the way down there so he could go have some lemonade and make buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we went and we took Shep. And yada, yada, yada. I think that Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are splitting up after 14 years of marriage because they recently went on a trip with a dog.
Or maybe they didn't go on a trip with the dog.
No.
Maybe that was the problem.
I'm going to tell you it's hard. And it's hard because one parent of said dog is loved more than the other parent. The parents aren't loved equally, and it's noticeable. It's noticeable to one in particular parent. So I guess what I'm trying to say is
parent.
He's my dog and he loves me and he adores me. So therefore, if he's going to get taken out at night, in the middle of the night, it's going to be me. I don't have any problem with it. I do it at home 8 nights out of 10.
And when you say that, it's not that I won't take him out.
Oh, not at all.
It's that he comes and wakes you up, just like every dog we've ever had before would wake me up.
So I don't complain about it. But I will tell y'all this. When we went to Arkansas this past weekend, he woke me up at 3:30 in the morning and he needed to go out. At 3:30 in the morning, when you go outside of a hotel, it is scary because there's no music playing outside the hotel. There's no one walking around. There's nobody down in the lobby. You're walking through that all by yourself with your dog. And then we were out on the green area and then right beside our hotel are apartments. So I could have sworn I looked at like 2 different windows and it was just eyes staring at me. So the next morning when we wake up, I said to David, and Rocco also was there. And I said, "Hey, y'all, it's kind of scary. I didn't know this. It's kind of scary at 3:30 in the morning when you take your dog outside and nobody's there. And it's just like apartments next door. And literally, like if someone tried to take me, nobody could hear me screaming.
I cannot ever comprehend a situation where someone wouldn't hear you screaming.
Okay, that's rude. I know what you meant by that. And it was a slam towards me. Anyway, y'all, in all sincerity, not trying to be funny, this truly did happen. I say to Rocco and David, it was scary. Like I went out there and it was like so dark and so quiet and there's no music playing and it's like really solemn and dark outside and there's these apartment buildings and it's scary.
And I
David
said,
went like,
did you bring that flashlight I brought you?
And Rocco looked right at David and said, hey, I have a knife in my truck. Why don't you get that for her so she can carry that outside? And David went, yeah, I'll get you Rocco's knife. So if you could zoom in on me for just 1 second. So what we have here is a situation where both of the men in my life have not offered to help me in any way, but rather given me a knife to aid me in what could potentially become some kind of murder event where I'm just simply trying to save my life. Okay?
See, that's not what happened, though. What happened is it would be very easy for me to go out there and protect you one night. But I don't want to do that. That's not a benefit to you. Yeah. I want to teach you to protect yourself.
You want to teach
the rest of your life.
Not just give me fish, David, but teach me how to fish.
I want you to defend yourself every night. Just not let me defend you one night.
Anyway, that was rather difficult for me to accept. And I did take him out the next night with said knife. So that was great.
Now, let's put in a little more context where we were at. Okay. We were in a very safe part of town. We were in an upscale part of town, I would even say.
Would you even say that?
I would. When they have, what was it? Woodstone pizza, open fire pits, and Sweet Gardens and taco and tamale companies.
You're just naming restaurants down the street. What the heck are you doing? You're just naming restaurants down the road. How is this saving me?
I'm saying.
Also, wood-fired pizza is great. Nobody's eating it at 3 a.m. I'm going to tell you that.
I'm saying it was a nice area we were in. Those apartments were very expensive, far too expensive for a serial killer to purchase.
That's right.
And the hotel was a very nice hotel.
Stop right there. We're going to talk about the hotel. I have questions and I need answers. And I'm being serious about this and I want you to help me, whether you agree with me or not, at least give your side of it. But y'all, this hotel probably cost $8 trillion. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It was a Marriott hotel and it was called the Moxie and it's very trendy and upscale. And we were going over the dadgum University of Arkansas plays Notre Dame weekend. So therefore rooms were outrageous, but it's all we could get. Who is wanting rooms like this? Where is the focus group that Marriott went to and asked questions? Because I want to know who those people are. Because the only kind of people that I think that would enjoy a Marriott of this nature would be excavators and hikers, extreme people who like to live in Iceland, maybe, or on the outskirts of society. Our room was the size of a shoebox. Oh, David just downgraded and didn't get you a nice room. No, they're all like this. The beds were head to head. They weren't even beside each other. They were head to head.
Now there was a headboard on both. So there was
no closet, just hooks in a wall.
Pegs.
There was no pegs. There was no seating except for 2 foldable
sling chairs.
Sling chairs also hanging on the pegs. Like the bathroom, if I stood up from the toilet and went to go pull my pants up and just kind of happened to turn, my butt could open and close the shower door. That's how tiny it was. So who is wanting this? Because if you're going to pay that kind of money, I would assume that would be the kind of people that would want more luxury atmosphere. But that is not what was going on there.
Well, I would say it was a luxury atmosphere.
Where? Not in the room, which is the most important part.
No, it was a luxury atmosphere, but on that minimalistic scale, like all the things were very nice. It was just very small. And like you said, it is kind of a minimalistic feel. You know, it would probably be fine. And Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban would still be together if they stayed there because they're little people.
No, but they would sleep head to head. What can happen there? No good can come of that.
but you know, full grown people.
Like the Radkes.
It does. It was a little snug. I also love the fact that you are pronouncing it Marriott instead of Marriott because Melissa just heard a podcast he was on the other day.
Yes, I did. David Marriott said, this is how I want to explain my last name to you. My wife was a second grade teacher and she had a little boy in her room named Elliot. And he kept mispronouncing her name and calling her Miss Marriott. And she said, is your name Elliot? And he said, no, that's crazy. It's Elliot. And she said, my name is pronounced exactly like yours. Marriott, like Elliot, not Marriott, because there's no such thing as an Elliot. And I listened to him say that. And the girl goes, I've been saying your name wrong for like my whole life. And he goes, most people do. It's Marriott. But I would like to say to Marriott that weekend, family after family after family pulled up to this hotel. One mom and dad got out and like 3 boys. They had a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old. And other families got out and people with their dogs and all the things. And you're putting them in these minimalistic rooms. Like, I just want to know where the research is. Show me you had a focus group that went in and slept in these rooms and said, hey, I actually think head to head is good because I'm very fertile and I just get pregnant when my husband looks at me. I mean, where are these people? Are these the people that you talk to? Because other than maybe Bear Grylls, okay, adventure expert extraordinaire, I can't imagine anybody wanting to live or stay in a space like this. I was very upset. I did not like that we spent that kind of money to stay there.
Yeah, it was an expensive. It's an expensive hotel anytime.
Just don't go on big football weekends.
It's an expensive hotel anytime. On big football weekends,
it's even worse.
It's significantly worse. Yeah. So it was. Yeah. I mean, it was a nice hotel. The atmosphere was nice. It's only been open a week or two, so everything was just top notch and cool concept in the lobby and all that kind of stuff. But I think stylistically, we probably wouldn't stay there again, just because that's not really, like the beds. Now, you said you didn't mind the bed, and I'm sure it's better for your back or something. It was pretty firm. Mm-hmm. No, what is it? What's the Westin bed called? The Dream Cloud. The Dream Cloud or something like that. I'm more of a Westin bed kind of sink in.
Here's one of the things I think that they were going for. And it's going to lead well into our next break. And I'll tell you why. Because the rooms were so small, they made sure that when you walked in, it's not like lobbies of other hotels. You walk in and you are immediately at a bar. The minute you walk in, there's a huge bar. And around the bar are tables and chairs and rocking chairs and funky tables and a long dining table, it looked like. There's games set out everywhere and there's TVs along the walls. What they are trying to do is get people out of their rooms and in a communal space. That's what they're trying to do. You don't want to lounge in your room and watch TV. It's not the least bit comfortable. So they're wanting to bring people to this communal space because community is important. Now, that is something that David and I firmly believe. I just don't think I'm going to find it at a hotel I'm staying for 2 nights. I mean, did anybody really go, hey, it has been a pleasure
it is very nice
meeting you. And I'm going to tell you what, dude, I'm not going to let you go. And then they go home and they proceed to have a relationship with each other. I mean, like
we're a society of people that never see their next door neighbors because they open the garage door, they pull in and they close the garage door. But for some reason, they think when you go out of town and see strangers, that's who you go interact with.
That's who you're going to. Hey, don't get me wrong. Community is important. And that is a great segue to our next break because we have an advertisement coming up for you during the break that will explain our thoughts on community. We'll see you right after this. Hey, y'all, it's Melissa. If you like what you hear on the Radke Show podcast, then you'll love what's happening over on my Substack, Stretch Marks. It's where I tell the stories I'm not ready to say out loud yet. You'll get my weekly letters, my daily voice memos, and the kind of community that feels like girlfriends around queso with Diet Coke. Come join us, melissaradke.substack.com, and bring your stretch marks too. We wear them proud. Our next hot topic, I'm going to let David announce it because he announced it to me.
So
it's a big deal to me every year who does this.
So
I was very excited when he told me about it.
Okay.
I'm not excited about that. Okay.
Maybe you could just go ahead and
I'm
say
not. I know. I can't
you
do
could
that,
just maybe you could just
do it. So go for it.
Okay. So you may have already heard this, but if you haven't, this year the Super Bowl halftime show will be. You may think I'm going to say something about a showgirl, but I'm not.
Oh, I hit myself.
You may think I'm going to say something. Bad Bunny will be performing.
Bunny, I couldn't tell you one thing that he sings. Bad Bunny.
So here's the thing. I have seen one or two performances, like new songs or whatever, performed by Mr. Bad Bunny. I believe that was his given name at birth.
It wasn't.
If I'm not mistaken.
It's Benito, actually. Benito something.
Benicio del Toro?
No, David. Oh. No. Benito, I don't know. But anyway, he goes by Bad Bunny. But yeah, keep going.
So I have heard him sing once or twice, but he's been in more and more movies and like streaming television shows and Saturday Night Live several times. And there's something about his personality. I guess just charismatic is the best way to say it. He does kind of draw you in. And I guess, do women think he's cute? Women think he's a cute guy? And, after 50, you don't think anybody's cute.
Well, you don't.
Yes. But anyway, I think it will be entertaining. I do think it will be interesting because I don't believe any of his songs are in English. I think everything is in Spanish.
You're not topping. You're not talking about what makes this such a hot topic. But I assure you, Twitter is talking about it. And TikTok is talking about it. And the internets are talking about why this is such a huge deal, which I love about you because you came and told me, hey, did you know that David doesn't have a malicious bone in his body? Like you did not even know that this is a war going on.
But I'm going to guess. I have no idea what you're talking about.
David was like, did you know that Bad Bunny is singing? And I was like, no, I didn't.
Okay.
And he goes, yeah, he's going to perform. And no, David has no ifs, ands, or buts about Bad Bunny.
And I still don't know what you're going to say, but something popped in my head and I'm wondering if I'm right when you said that.
Okay.
So people on the music side or the planning side, it's a little bit of a finger to them.
What was that, David? If you were listening to this podcast and you
can't
David,
see,
he gave an invisible fist up kind of thing.
It's kind of a little sign, a rebuff, because I believe he's Puerto Rican. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Puerto Rican. Yeah. So I could see there being a little bit of intentionality with that.
Against who, baby? I'm not understanding.
Our current government is rounding up people and deporting.
Didn't say any of that. You said on the music side.
On the music side, the people that are setting him up to do it and wanting him to do it, I think from them, they're kind of shooting the finger a little bit
to the government,
at the establishment, we'll say, because of all the stuff with ISIS and deportation and all that kind of stuff.
With ICE, not ISIS. Those are two completely different things.
Are they? So, okay, is it somehow tied to that?
Yeah, but don't be mistaken. It isn't just the people setting up the halftime show who are, hey, watch this, government. Hey, look at this, Trump. It's also Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny has come out for I didn't know any of this. I had to do my research. Bad Bunny has been anti-Trump for a very long time, wearing shirts about him on stage and all this kind of stuff. So people got up in arms about Bad Bunny and the fact that he's going on tour this year and not one single stop is in America. Not one. And his fans really came out and were like, hey, what the heck? America supports you so much. You're on our screens. You're on our Saturday Night Live and on our movies and all. And Bad Bunny came out and made the statement, my team and I got together and we cannot fathom the thought of coming to America so that ICE can stand outside and arrest our fans as they walk into the building. It is something that really troubles us and we're just not going to do it. Oh, but wait. So when he comes out and he announces that he's going to be the halftime star of this year's halftime show, he does it by saying, well, I guess there is one date I'll play in America. And people are furious about it. They're furious. And if you're listening to me and you're like, but I don't understand who's furious. Is it the left? Is it the right? Yes. People are just mad. Okay. People are mad because he sings every song in Spanish. And this is America. You should be speaking English. People are mad because he didn't come here on his tour, but he's going to come here for the money that he's going to make at the halftime show. People are mad because he's Puerto Rican. And how come y'all never have anybody that's white play the Super Bowl? People are mad because, the list goes on. When I went to Twitter, in
fairness about the white people comment, I believe Adam Levine was the last one. And when he took his shirt off, that's his fault that white people aren't going to be back. They're not going to be asked back in a while.
No, they're not. So millions of people open their mouth.
You need to blame Adam Levine for that.
Actually, according to Twitter, the last white person that ever played on the halftime show was Eminem, and he was surrounded by all black artists. I'm going to tell you what, it is absurd. But what I'm saying is, you couldn't even find a common theme necessarily. I guess if you had to find a common theme of unity, it would be the people who are saying Bad Bunny is flipping off the government and that he will probably make that halftime show extremely political, focused, and anti-government. That if you thought Kendrick Lamar being angry at Drake was a thing, you ain't seen nothing yet.
The reason why I'm not going to say it's going to be free of all that, but the reason why I don't think that it will be completely that is that would be a bad look for the NFL. And they're going to approve every single thing he did. That's why in Kendrick Lamar, when some rogue dancer pulled out a flag, they immediately took him away, arrested him. That was not agreed to.
Hey, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this because there's two things. Actually, there's several things, but two things stick out in my mind that you have come out and proclaimed in the time that we've been married. The first one was you saw a commercial for a new series coming to television called Lost. And you said, that's never going to work. No one's ever going to watch it. Once you crash on an island, what could you possibly write about? The second one was last year when you said, Kendrick Lamar, who's that? Absolutely no one will tune in. Okay.
I don't believe
so. Now you're saying, listen to me, everybody. I don't think any political statements are going to be made. I'm going to tell you right now, David, you're going to rue the day you said
I didn't say any political statements. There will be some political statements, but it won't be the entire show because it's the NFL. Do you know who owns the NFL and runs the NFL? Old, stodgy white guys, vastly conservative. They're not going to do it. They're not going to let it be overrun with it. Will there be some? Sure.
Well, I got to tell you what makes me mad. Go on, Bad Bunny, do your thing. I don't care. Okay? I'm going to be eating buffalo chicken dip as fast as my hands can put it in my mouth. So here's what upsets me, and I saw it repeatedly online. Oh, this is going to really anger the Bubbas, the Chads, the Derricks, and the Dirks, who, in one post had gotten 8 million reposts. This is going to anger every white guy who wears Oakleys and drives a truck. Essentially, what I feel is that when things like this happen that are politically fueled, they point to Southerners.
Yeah, because
they describe Southerners, and we are not all the same. There are some real rednecks who have
Maui Jims that they don't wear Oakleys.
You know what I'm saying? It just makes me mad that people always group Southerners into this non-tolerant, absolute, benign, ridiculous, stupid. Well, I don't understand that. I know some Darryls who weigh 250 pounds, played linebacker in high school in their glory days, wear Oakleys, drive a truck, and are as Democrat as can possibly be. I don't know why they lump all Southerners into being so stupid and narrow-minded.
Well, I don't know who they are that you're talking about, but
I'm just on a little soapbox.
All that does is, I think it shows their ignorance. Are there some intolerant, Southern people? Sure. Are there some intolerant people in the North and bigots in the West and the East? Yeah, they're all over the country. People, unfortunately, are uncomfortable and insecure of anything different than they are. And when they don't have an intellectual response to something, they just go trying to hit the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, you're right.
But it just makes them, it can be offensive, but I'm still saying it can make them feel, irritated. But if you look at the last 3-4 years, and I'm going to remember everybody. I know it was Kendrick, and then it was Usher, and then it was the big, maybe the best ever. I don't know if it can bump Prince, because Prince, when the actual rain came down, that was cool. But it was the Dr. Dre and everything. Their stereotype would have been throwing a fit all those years too.
Right.
I mean, so I don't think it's that. To be honest, this year, just with that tension, and again, it's not that I'm naive. It's just that I live in a healthier headspace, that I'm just going to think, oh, that'll be good. That will be entertaining, and immediately what I thought after that, if, what are the two language things?
The two language things?
Yeah. Like how do you learn language?
Oh, like the woman's name that you took Spanish from you took Spanish online?
Yeah. Why am I blanking on?
I don't remember.
There's two big ones, but they need to jump on this so quick and offer free courses based off the lyrics to his songs. And you get a free thing to
jump right on that.
Rosetta Stone is one.
I will jump right on Rosetta Stone.
But there's another one that's become real big too. I think it's bigger than Rosetta Stone.
Sylvan Learning Center?
No. Okay. But I thought, what a great marketing opportunity to get people to
because
I just think it would just be fun. It'd just be different. Call me.
All right. Moving on to our next topic. Speaking of Bubbas in the South. Speaking of Bubbas in the South. David, what happened with Theo Vaughn?
Okay, I'm completely clueless.
You didn't hear about this?
Not at all.
So Theo Vaughn is a really
I know who he is, but he's not from the South, is he?
Actually, I don't know, but he definitely has a Southern. His whole shtick is kind of Southern, and his accent and everything. Theo Vaughn, I think a lot of people would consider him a comedian. He actually did not get his start at all doing comedy on stage. And he's become so well known for having this podcast.
Was he in The Real World or something like originally?
Yes, he was. It was one of those shows. But Theo Vaughn has risen to fame because has a really great podcast, and stars and celebrities want to go on it. It's in this podcast that people have realized how funny he is. He's very, very funny. So he has had one streaming special, but he just got a new Netflix streaming special the other day. And so he went and did his special. He performed it in New York last night, if I'm not mistaken. If you're listening to this podcast, it would have been 2 nights ago. People were walking out. 1/3 of the audience got up and left the building. David, they got online and talked about it afterwards. They said he was repeating the same stories and the same content. He would go for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden he'd start repeating that content again. He had to more than once, more than twice, run to the side and ask someone, what was the punchline again? Because he could not remember.
Okay. Was he having almost like a panic attack, or do they think it was like drug or alcohol related?
Some people have said he was definitely on something. He has relapsed because he's been sober. He has relapsed and he is definitely on something. But a lot of other people were like, no, it wasn't that. He was beyond nervous. He was sweating. He was lost. He was just lost. They were like, was he nervous? Was he unprepared? Like, what was it? But they said it was terrible. Okay. But I say that it comes in culmination of this right here. Afterwards, the people that were left in the audience went to the front of the stage to do the old, will you sign it? Can we get a selfie kind of thing? He knew he had bombed. And one woman is taking some video, and she's standing down and she's like, what happened tonight? What happened? And he is on camera saying, hey, I'm having a really long month, trying really hard not to take my own life right now.
Oh.
What in the world? Now, if I know Hollywood, they will write about this for the next 6 weeks and nobody will check on him. Right? And then we'll hear that he has relapsed, that he has felt bad and he was in a deep, dark pit and he took his own life. And then we'll all act super sad about it. But the truth of the matter is anybody doing the work? Is anybody going to him and checking on him? I mean, not his manager or his agent, because chances are they just want him to get back out there and do the Netflix special. But like when someone says that, who's doing the work? Who's doing the follow-up? That's scary for me.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart.
It's scary on either if he was being sarcastic, you know what I mean? Like trying to give himself some breathing room and just being sarcastic, like, hey, give me a break.
I'm trying really hard not to take my own life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he was even doing it I haven't heard the tone, but if he's doing it that way, that's still really scary and a cry for help.
Right.
But if he was just like, hey, I'm doing my best, I don't want to take my own life, that's even more like his, hopefully a close friend, family member, some of these celebrities that love him and have been on the show and maybe have his number, they need to reach out to just check in and say, what can I do? Or, you know.
It was,
that's sad.
It's very sad. And I'm not even a fan of his necessarily. I couldn't tell you one joke or one thing that he's ever said that's not got me really tickled. I don't know, but that bothered me a lot because I worry that people like that are kind of closed off from people that care about them, but it's hard to get to them. You know?
And I'm the same way. I obviously know who he is. I've probably listened to 5 or 10 minutes of one podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you anything. So I can't tell you who he is or, those kind of things. But to be honest, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, gosh, no.
It doesn't matter if he isn't my sense of humor or if he uses terms that I wouldn't or whatever the case is. It doesn't matter. He's a person that, needs some support.
He's Jesus.
That's sad.
The other day, we're going to close with this little story. The other day, I was watching TikTok. When I say the other day, yesterday, when we were driving back in from Arkansas, I was looking at TikTok. David was driving and I came across a TikTok video from the Ryder Cup, which happened this past week. And
for you, those of you who don't know, the Ryder Cup, I believe it happens every 2 years. I don't think it's every year, every 2 years, but there's an America team and a European team, and they play for these days, and it's more like a match play thing. And then one day it's alternating shots, and it's kind of complicated. It's not just a straight up golf tournament, but it's teams, basically America against Europe, and Europe tends to win more than America does. They're probably a little more team focused and structured, or whatever the case is. But they do it every year. But this year it was at Beth Page, I think it is, like up in New York State. And so I was just setting that up for what it was. And Roy,
No, I haven't told that part yet. So we're driving down the road. I come across a TikTok that someone has filmed, and it's of Rory McIlroy.
McIlroy.
That's very hard to say. I'm going to say it one time perfectly, and then I'm never going to say it again. Rory McIlroy. Okay.
And I can just say Rory.
I can't even say that.
One of the top golfers in the world. He's a European. He's on the European team.
I say to David, "Hey, David, what's this about?" And I show him the TikTok, and it's of Rory finishing a putt and looking up at the crowd and pointing to this section and saying, "F you," but saying it. And then this section, "F you and F you." And people just screaming and booing at him. To me, it looks like another sports hero gone rogue, right? Gotten too big for their britches. I wondered what it was. I say to David.
I hadn't seen the other videos when you asked me that. Have you seen the other videos?
I haven't seen a video, but I read an article. Are you talking about his wife?
Mm. And just the fans, the American fans, throughout the weekend.
Rory is out playing when his wife, who has been his wife since 2017, Erica, strolls on into the crowd to watch him, like she does every time. Erica, according to the article I read, tends to be a little bit quieter, a little bit more subdued. She's not big up in his business. She's not big with the fans. She walks out after it starts. She leaves before it's over. But last year, Rory and Erica separated. They split up for about 8 months. And for whatever reason, the male, M-A-L-E, fans at this event decided to troll her. Beer bottles and beer cans were thrown at her head. She was called horrific names. And at one point, the men in the crowd began to chant another woman's name that Rory had apparently seen for a little bit of time during their separation.
I didn't hear that part. I saw her get hit in the head with a beer can.
What in the world? First of all, no wonder he did that to the crowd, right?
I would have done more than that.
How would you like to be putting and hear them screaming out a female's name, which, by the way, according to the article, has not even been proven? And she is standing there watching him. She has got beer splattered on her, and people said you could see tears rolling down her face. And the article was about the amount of misogyny that is coming up to the surface of men in our society today. And I agree with it. And I'm going to tell you something. I have a theory as to why I think that is, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, when you first showed me that, I didn't know what it was. I knew they were at the Ryder Cup, which the Ryder Cup can be a little bit more chirpy, if you will, than like a normal golf match. Normal golf match, you don't speak at all. And they're not really supposed to, like, they did it several times in his backswing too, like on the first tee or something. You're not supposed to do that. It's just an etiquette of golf. It's not baseball or basketball or football where different things may be accepted or whatever. But I heard a couple of people talking about it, that it was just an absolute disgrace. And a lot of people even think it's part of the reason why the American team, they did really bad, whatever it was, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They did kind of have a little bit run back up on Sunday, but it was too little too late at that point. But they think it even affected the players, because even the American players were like cringed that it was so just ridiculous. And so, yeah, it's a sad statement of our society that we
and our
can't,
culture as a whole.
yeah, that we can't do it. And I don't know what the necessarily the cause is. There's two causes that kind of pop to my mind.
Yeah.
And these are off the top of my head, so I've put no real thought in them.
I'm
fine to discuss either one.
I want to say one thing before you do. I said, I have a theory as to why the misogyny rate is on the rise, but I'm going to step back and I'm not going to share my thoughts, because as I was sitting here thinking, I feel like if I share it, it is giving men an excuse. And I sure as heck don't want to do that, because there is no excuse for that.
No.
It's like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. I'm not giving men an excuse. I'm not going to share my thoughts, because that's just by being men. Well, they've had it. Give me a break. Okay. So I'd like to know yours though.
I have two. Like I said, I'm thinking of this on the spot, so I may think through this tonight and go, I wish I wouldn't have said that. But I think there are two strong possibilities, and they may somewhat even correlate. One, that I don't know what the time frame is, 10, 15, 20 years. And I even hate to use this word because there's probably a better word for this, but if you just want to say the feminism movement. And when I'm saying that, it's not just the women should make the same as men for the same job and those kind of things, but the more I told a story not too long ago when Rocco was trying to help a lady get her suitcase off the belt, and she acted like a complete jerk to him. That, in my mind, is feminism gone.
FaceTime. Keep going. Just because our kids call us don't mean we got to answer.
That, in my mind, is feminism gone crazy wrong. It is absolutely important that women vote. It's absolutely important that women are equal. But when a woman can't allow a gentleman to open the door because he's strictly being a gentleman, that's when it goes a little too far. So I think some of it could be that pendulum of when it's so far, it can swing back the other way from, being a gentleman to being a complete turd. But there's a second one that factors in, and I don't want it to go real political, but the environment that we are living in under the current administration, of the anger and rage and going after anybody that disagrees with me or is different than me, and this rising up mentality, that spills out, that splashes out onto other people. And so I think that also could be affecting people of going, well, if this person, is over this county, or this person's over this state, or even this country, and they're allowed to do these things, or they're allowed to say these things and talk to people this way and treat people this way, why can't I do that? So those are my two initial thoughts. But
I think that you are right on both accounts. I think the first one, I hear what I know your heart, and it's not to give men an excuse.
No.
For years leading up to this, we've had a demasculinization. Okay. A femining down, if you will, of men, a dumbing down of them for the last many years, in order to make women look smarter and look bigger and look better and look more powerful. The truth of the matter is, we didn't really need y'all to do that. Hollywood, government, whatever, or books, authors, speakers, this, that, we didn't need you to dumb down men in order to make us look better. We looked great to begin with, but they did that. And I think men are revolting. And I think you're absolutely right about the current government and what we have here is the perfect storm. And I'll end with this and then we'll go to a quick break. David, it has bothered me all day long that I did not have a comeback for what that guy said to me last night. It has bothered me all day long. I was at an event last night and we were all dressed up and I saw someone who I have not seen in 30 years. And he came up to me and he goes, Melissa Lee. And he stuck his hand out and I said, yes, it's me. And I said, I knew that was you, but he said, it is so, man, I haven't seen you in forever. And I said, I know it's been a long time and you've aged terribly and I haven't aged at all. So I figured that would really throw you for a loop. And he started laughing and he said, yeah, man, it's been so long. And he looks at David and he can tell that David is my husband, right? And he goes, hi, I'm such and such. And David goes, good to meet you. I'm David Radke. And he said, this one right here, her and I got in a lot of trouble a couple of summers when we were growing up. And David said, yeah, I've heard that. And I said, well, not me so much. I could pretty much get out of anything, but he was trouble. And he looked right at me. And then he looked at David and he said, well, I see she's still in love with herself. David's laughing. David laughed then. I really do not think that guy meant that maliciously at all.
I don't at all. But
it's bothered the crap out of me.
Number one, you told me in advance. I mean, you told me earlier in the day or whenever. Mm-hmm. I always thought he was so funny. Mm-hmm. And when he was saying it, he had a big smile on his face.
I do not think he had a malicious intent at all. It didn't matter. Sometimes as a woman, I wonder what I have done to give you the freedom to talk to me like that. I'm 50, David. He's not saying that to me when I'm 32 or 24 or when he knew me at 19. I'm 50 now. So how come he gets to say that? And I wanted to rise up, right? I've thought all day long about the things I could have said. One of the things I should have said was, I am really surprised you're comfortable saying that out loud. That will usually take people back, right? But you didn't defend me either because you thought it was funny. And it was funny.
It was funny and you don't need defending. And it was also a factual statement. You do love yourself.
That is not the point.
So there was no defense needed. It was funny. And I don't care. I don't care if you are 30 or 50 or when you're 70. You are a confident woman. And you are a woman who knows your identity.
Yes.
Yourself as well as in Christ.
Absolutely.
And so obviously it can be normal. Every now and then something hits you and it rolls through your head for a day. But long term, you look and go, I am who I am. And I'm confident in who I am. I can take a joke because it was a joke. It wasn't even somebody being ugly.
My family thought it was hysterical. And they all kept saying, oh, he got you. He got you. But one of the things that's kind of bothered me today is maybe it's bothered me even more than what he said, which is, and that's a bad thing. You see, I don't love myself to the point that that I have a lot of vanity or I'm vain, right? I don't walk around like I'm better than everyone else, but I do love myself. I think I'm a hoot. I think if you don't invite me to your party's not going to be as fun. I think I bring a lot to the table, but this has come from many years of thinking I brought nothing. Like I've done the work.
Right.
So I'm allowed to say that. Like I know who I am. I'm confident in that. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's why you laugh at it.
But I didn't laugh at it. Today I was so mad about it.
You shouldn't be mad about it.
Okay.
Because you do love yourself.
And that's what you love about me?
But I love that.
I knew you were going to say that. We'll be right back after this. Hey guys, quick break from the show, but this is important. If you're loving these conversations, then Stretch Marks is where you need to be. That's where I share the stuff I don't always say out loud. Stories, voice notes, confessions, even a little advice now and then. It's real, it's honest, and it's waiting for you. Go to melissaradke.substack.com and join us. We're building something beautiful over there, and I want you in it. David, I'm going to have to ask you for this next part to play along.
All right.
Okay. David, there is a TikTok trend going around right now, and you're about to be a part of it.
Right.
Here's what you do. Take your phone and choose one friend to call. When you call that friend and they answer, you're going to have them on speaker so we can hear everything. You're going to just tell them something you recently did, as if you're just checking in with them. Okay? So, for instance, if you call my dad, you would just say, hey, I just wanted you to know I just ran by the mailbox store and picked up those couple of boxes. I got them home, and honestly, I think I'm just going to turn in for the night. Okay? You're just doing a check-in. They're not going to know why you're telling them this. They're not going to know how to respond. And if we like how it turns out, you're going to have to call another friend and do it.
Okay.
So he's got several friends that he can call. I don't know who he's deciding to call, but put them on speaker. We want to hear, and you need to be ready what it is you're going to say.
I wish I knew which number was the right number.
Who would you be calling that you don't know the number?
Did you hear that? That might have been it, but I don't want you to hear it.
You can't have small talk. You just have to tell them you're checking in.
Yep. Before it's voicemail. You're losing your time.
Okay, who would you be calling that has a myriad of numbers? You got Trump's number?
I'll try this one.
Turn it all the way up. Put it by.
Hey, David.
Hey, I was just going to let you know I got back from the post office and making a deposit at the bank. I think I'm just going to hang out here and go to bed early.
Do what now?
Well, I had run to the post office. I went to the bank, and I'm tired. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and go to bed early.
What are you talking about?
I just wanted to let you know I feel bad I didn't check in earlier.
Did I dial you or something?
No, we're recording the podcast, and Melissa told me this is a TikTok trend.
Where you call your friends and you just check in with them for unknown reason.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And did you happen to catch Jolene at the post office? Small town USA.
I didn't. She must have been in the back when I went by.
She was in the back. Well, that thing runs like a Swiss clock, I can tell you that. Said nobody ever about the post office.
All right. Well, have a good night. I love you.
Well, I love you too. I love you too, son. And how's that rash, by the way?
That ointment you gave me worked great.
Good. It worked great on my wife too.
Hang up. Okay.
Did that go the way you wanted? Was it?
Well, he's an idiot, so I guess so. Okay.
So what are you seeing or hearing on TikTok? Like what are
that? When girls do it, watch how a girl will do it as opposed to how a guy will do it. Okay? A girl will do it completely differently. And I am literally picking somebody that I don't even talk to very much at all. I literally picked a random name. I can't.
Hello.
Hey, it's me.
Hey.
I just wanted to let you know that I ran by the post office and grabbed those boxes and got them back, gave them to David. And now I don't know. I think I'm going to go to bed early.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Do you didn't need anything else from me?
No.
All right, girl. Good to talk to you.
All right. You too.
Bye.
So has she seen it and wasn't gonna?
She had to have seen it on TikTok.
She wasn't gonna play into it. Why didn't you ask her?
I'm calling her back. That girl will play along at least.
Not when it's you. People are like, I ain't doing that.
She's probably like, no, I'm not going to be filmed. No, she's not answered at all. Oh gosh, that was funny. Okay, at least she played along. My apologies to Courtney. I haven't talked to her in weeks. All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here today and for playing Hot Topics with us. We had good topics today.
We did.
We're trying to change the world one podcast at a time, y'all. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, following, all the good things. You don't ever want to miss anything.
I'm sorry we have to go. My Babbel subscription is about to begin.
Babbel, like Babylon?
Or Duolingo.
Duolingo! Thanks for listening to this episode of The Radke Show. We're going to end now so that you can go and love on your people. Till next time.